Alright, I want to talk about something that probably isn't going to change because I'm a realist, but it would be nice if some consideration was given to the idea. So I've noticed now, I've been working hard to get better at editing the past few months, and feel like I really learned how to make the type of YouTube video that I wanted to make by streaming. I streamed for 4 years, 2 years, like solid every day, then maybe 2 years, like kind of on and off. But I streamed over 15,000 hours on Twitch live. So, in dealing with all of that and like bouncing around games, like having Tarkov as a main game for a couple years, like I experienced a lot of, the same things that every streamer experiences, but just on a different scale, right? Like maybe I didn't have like 1,000 viewers or 10,000 viewers, but you go through the same cycles of the games and enjoying them, and it feeling like, not enjoyable, and you losing motivation to stream, or people harass you and it makes it not a good time. So it's, easier to just not be live and have to deal with that shit, right? So another thing is that having to like deal with or like face with like how people interact and like how they respond, or like, just the way like the typical like backseater on Twitch, for example, is like, oh, you missed this thing, or like this checkpoint that like you would have no fucking way about like knowing unless you looked it up, or you just went past it, and it's like, how the fuck was I supposed to know that, dude? Like, come on, I'm doing a blind playthrough here, you fucking idiot. Like, but these people are literally in every stream just fucking saying stupid shit and backseating. So once you become like conditioned for that like response to like randomly evoke itself out of the chat after no one says anything forever, like you just expect it to be there. So while I don't have to deal with that if I'm not live on Twitch, like I still think about those things, you know? It's like the worst aspects of live streaming have prepared me to make better videos because I know what kind of shit people are gonna say. And that's after the fact of fucking editing out hours of fucking, you know, fluffer, less entertaining footage to as viewed by people. The problem is that people want the same gratification that comes with seeing like the highlight moments or the best plays or whatever, without having to invest the amount of time that it takes to put in to actually see that happen, right? So once you remove all the elements that led to telling the story to how this rare or insane moment actually happened, it has no context, it has no story. It's just like a 3-second clip of some fucking insane flick by Monacy or Simple or whoever, or like any player. Just like, oh yeah, that's nuts, but like you don't know what round it is, what tournament it is it a major they play, like everything has context and meaning, like, so when you strip everything back, it just becomes like this highlight reel, which is like one kind of compilation or like frag movie or whatever you want to say. But like telling a meaningful story of like what happens in the events of progression over the time in the game and then how the events play out is something completely different than, I'm gonna make like an hour and a half video playing Rust and like my journey from the beach to making a base, and struggling to get stuff and whatever it took to thrive and profit from something, and then like all the people you meet on the way and all the things that happen. That's the story. That's what makes the video an hour and a half. I could take that same exact footage and just make like every headshot I hit this wipe or some shit, and it's like a fucking 2-minute video or like 5-minute video, and just like every time you like shot somebody, it's like same footage, completely different thing, completely different feel, completely different like consumption. Like, so people who don't want that whole hour and a half story aren't gonna like sit and watch, you know, the whole hour and a half. Okay, sure, that's fair, but that like condensing that video into that 2 to 5 minute video of just the headshots isn't really any good. Like, why would anybody want to see that? Like, probably nobody would watch that. So now that like I feel like, okay, like I'm like YouTuber now, I feel I don't stream on Twitch anymore. I've been uploading videos on here. I have a video now that has thousands of views. Like, I can say that. That's like insane to me. Like, I didn't do anything other than just keep uploading shit, and I just hit the right like topic at the right time or whatever. But and I kind of knew that, like, making it like, yeah, this is good to put this out before wipe, you know. Like, I just thought the video would get like, I don't know, 100 views or 200 views instead of like 10 or 50 or something. I didn't expect this level. And in all honesty, I refreshed it like 5 to like 20 times total on my own. So out of all those views, I'm like 20 of them. So it's pretty good. So thanks for watching, but yeah, that led me to like really thinking about like the amount of effort and like work that I put into like getting to like be able to make a video at that level of like where I feel like I'm just beginning, and it's like presentable. Like, I feel the other videos, like there's other videos on the channel already that like hold up. Like, there was at least 2 dozen videos that have been on the channel that I removed completely. They're either unlisted or I deleted them completely. So there are some old videos that are unlisted that, like, for some reason, if some random ass person like had the URL or whatever and wanted, like, oh, what was this video? Like, it's still there. It's just not on the page. You can't like find it. You'd have to have the direct link. But they're terrible videos. I don't know why anybody would want to watch it. But I did not delete some of them. But I might delete them now. Because if you're talking about just like accounting for like total views or traffic on the channel, like, at a certain point, like, these old ones are, I mean, I have over 100 videos that are like, I feel at least viewable, and some of the old ones I've left just because like I feel it shows like where I came from before I put anything on YouTube. Like, basically, when I streamed on Twitch every day, and then I would take like clips or like a video, like I'd have to highlight on Twitch and then download it or whatever and then edit it. I was using like Windows Movie Maker to like make a video and then like put it on the YouTube channel, you know? And I did that like pretty sparingly because live streaming all day every day takes all your time and is demanding. Especially if you stream a game like Tarkov or something where you're just like inherently like, you're just doing that shit anyways and you just stay live essentially, whereas like other games you kind of force yourself to like keep playing or keep streaming. Like, I'm kind of over it or bored, but like Tarkov, when you're in it, like, if you're not falling asleep, you want to play. If you're addicted to the game, it's like hard to stop. When you're like the first, I would say, like, first couple thousand hours, like first 1 to 3 thousand hours are like addict central for the game, and then once people pass that, they start to realize the reasons why other people quit, and yeah, and so on. So like, for example, if you saw one of the like the more recent Rust videos I made, and then you look at like the quote gameplay test video, I did one from like each game just to like see, or if I make a video from the game, I'm gonna YouTube now, what is it like? So if you watch that, like, compared to what, like, you know, the whatever 7-minute gameplay video test Rust versus an hour and a half, like hour 20-minute video that I worked on, like, should be very clear whether you like the videos or not. It should be clear objectively the progress I've made since like I got Premiere Pro and not using Windows Movie Maker. Like, that opens up a lot of opportunity to, for everything. And just also getting a feel for like what it is that literally every creator. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even like to name names. Just every creator, big like streamer, YouTube creator that has to do with games and stuff like that, and they're like, doing an interview or talking about like their channel growing and this and that. Like every single one of them that I like look up to or like inspired me to do things a certain way, they all say the same exact thing, that they just make things that they like, and then if people like that or they take notice, then that's happens sometimes. So as long as you're making what you like that's really all that matters, because then when I watch it back, I can like laugh or smile or like think it was cool, instead of like cringing at like, why did I make this? Like if I'm watching a video and I'm cringing for any reason, it should be because like I'm better at editing. Oh, I would do a better like fade there, like the song choice isn't great, I would actually kind of change the vibe with a different song and maybe lower the volume of it and kind of give it like a gradual fade in on like some gain, to like feed into this, like instead of just being like, what am I doing, but like, or maybe like skill wise, you're like brand new at a game, you like look at it like, I used to be like, oh, this is me when I first started, it's like, wow, I was so bad, like that's still inherently different than like, just not being happy with like, oh, I made this because of this, or like you're influenced by some sponsor, or I don't know, something that like isn't really what you wanted to make, but you just did it because that's what whatever makes you money or whatever the hell motivator. So yeah, that's what also like started me like thinking about like when I see on YouTube, so if like that's what it takes you to get like a few thousand views, like maybe your video gets like pushed out a little bit more on searches or something because it's like quote trending in their algorithm in some biased way or whatever, but like if you look at YouTube as a whole, like it's not just a gaming thing. So like I realize that, but at the same time, like the things that a lot of the gaming creators are doing, like not just Rust, but Rust specifically, but also other games, like the content they're creating is beyond like literally like TV shows and movies at this point, because those have been garbage for years. So like these people are independently making better content than that for free, and then yet like all the traffic on the website is like,
I waterproofed a house and put water in the house. I filled a swimming pool full of pudding.
like it's just all these asinine things that are a complete waste of time and materials. And it's like, why is anybody watching this at all? Well, I mean, the answer is because everybody's fucking stupid as fuck. Yeah, there's a couple thousand of us that are cool and will watch a good Rust video, but there's millions of dumb motherfuckers out there who will watch someone fill a pool full of pudding or whatever the fuck dumbass YouTube stunt. This fucking YouTube video meta is so tired and fucking ridiculously brain dead. It's pathetic. Like, it's literally like, why are you doing that? Nobody would practically do any of this shit. You're doing it to like
Get views on YouTube, bro.
like, what? Fuck you. Go fuck yourself. There's a bunch of motherfuckers out here working 10 million times harder than you, getting a fraction of the fucking attention.